Hello and welcome. Life is good, but you of course knew that. What is it that tends to make us forget the very fundamental fact that life is intrinsically and fundamentally good? As you know, and as I know, that at our core of our beings, we feel that life should be based in happiness and prosperity and joy and success, and life should be fundamentally enjoyable. Life should be a pleasant and beautiful experience. Why is it that we don't tend to experience that all the time? Why is it that we more often end up experiencing suffering and pain, drama, conflict, violence? Life fundamentally is good, and that is the divine will for us. The authentic experience would be a life that is based in joy and in awe and in wonder, where every moment is a miracle. Well, there are two realities. There's the truth, and then there's, we can say, maybe what is not true or false or illusory. And truth fundamentally is from God. It's from the Creator. It's from the divine, and that is good. What is false, which we can say perhaps is from human beings or from the mind or the world of men, is something that is perhaps not quite always reflective of divine goodness, drama, conflict, violence, etc. And these two realities, we sort of can, depending on our state of consciousness and our focus, we can be somewhere in between these two realities, perhaps closer to one pole than the other. The key to a life of absolute awe and wonder is to exist in a state of union or communion with the divine presence. It's to be so rooted deep within, and that's the key thing to understand, that if we're going to connect with the divine, we have to make that journey inward. It's not outward. It's an inward journey. And when we're so rooted and connected to the divine presence within ourselves, then life naturally and beautifully unfolds in an experience of joy and wonder and love and beauty. So two realities, the internal and the external, the truth and the false. And we can also say the real and the unreal. These two realities correspond with the world of form, which is the world of appearances, which is the physical world that we know. Traditionally, this is called dunya, or the manifest world, the world that is sort of reflected through us and created and manifests based on our consciousness. And then the absolute reality, which is the internal world, which is the world of essence, the absolute divine essence. And again, this can only be found deep within. The world is very distracting, so we get lost in it. Things come up, issues come up, situations arise, and we quickly find ourselves getting lost in that world of form and the world of appearances. And then that begins to disconnect us from the truth within, from the divine presence. As we get lost in that world of form, in the world of appearances, in the world of effects, we become distanced from the divine presence. We become distant from the truth within, and we lose our connection to the source, to source energy, that which is an infinite wellspring of abundance and prosperity and goodness. And then problems begin to become more and more. And the trick is, once we start losing ourselves in that, it starts to tumble and starts to snowball, and we quickly find ourselves completely out of control. Life is completely out of control. Everything is just going wrong, one thing after another. And the key at that point, when you begin to remember that something's not right, the first step is, again, to stop and reconnect within. It's to bring yourselves back to your root, to your center, to your source, to the divine presence within. Now, that's not something that can really be explained. It's just simply something that can be experienced. It can be felt. It can be known. But there's no way to sort of communicate that to anyone else. The way is to go deep within, and one of the simplest things is a simple practice I'll leave you with in this video, which we call going through the breath gate. And that's a simple practice where you can begin to just simply begin to become conscious of your breath, your breathing. So your breathing borders on the edge between consciousness and unconsciousness. It's an automatic activity. It's something that is almost being done without your conscious or willful involvement. And as such, it serves as a doorway into the subconscious or into the superconscious, or you can say into the divine presence, because that's divine will manifesting. It's almost the ebb and flow of the universe that assists us, that actually breathes us when you get into it. So by focusing and becoming one with our breath, we automatically begin to align ourselves. We automatically begin to reposition our state of consciousness with the reality within. And then you can begin to feel the divine presence. Again, it's not something that can be explained intellectually. It's just an experience. It's an experience of presence that can just simply be felt and known just through tasting it. So a simple practice I'd like to leave you with on this video podcast is simply to just make it a practice, a daily practice to meditate, and also during times throughout the day. Traditionally it's ideal to maybe do this at 5 times throughout the day, is to stop and just take a break and disconnect yourself from the world of form, from the world of appearances, from the world of effects, and reconnect with your source, the divine presence within, source energy, the divine, the creator, God. And just simply breathe. Close your eyes and just begin to relax and allow the tension to just simply release and fall away. And simply just connect with the divine presence within, and not conceptually, but just breathe. Just become conscious of your breath. Become aware of any tension and let it go. Just relax. Just breathe. 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 And as you begin to practice this more and more, you'll begin to feel an inner joy just emerging from within for no reason at all. This is called happiness for no reason, and it's our natural and authentic state. And simply by allowing ourselves to be there, to be connected to the divine presence within, our waking experience will be one more and more of joy and of peace, of prosperity, amazing synchronicities. Life will simply begin to just simply work and fall into place. And make it a daily practice. Take time out throughout the day, several times during the day, in the morning when you wake up, at night before you sleep. The more you reinforce this connection, the more you work on this simple practice, just breathing, just connecting with your own very breath, just being okay with yourself, things will begin to change. And life will begin to become, again, filled with joy and wonder and beauty, natural goodness. So I invite you to incorporate this into your daily routine. And this is just a very brief introduction into what we call a program of spiritual excellence. Again, facilitating our growth and our evolution, and facilitating a life of success. To your divine success, this is Ihsan.